So I have this new service called Flame Readings, and Flame Lineage Readings has 4 options. The first option is a Oversoul Codex reading, which is with my new tarot deck, right? This is soul encoded. It's basically specific to our times and like you remembering yourself, right? So I have readings with this, but then I also have the reading that I'm going to do on live today, which is the Initiation Flame reading. In that I identify the primary flame lineages that people come from, the light aspects, the shadow aspects. Identify the gifts that they have and then give them like somewhat of guidance. So y'all gonna get to see what that looks like live because I'm about to call somebody up to do one of those sessions. Okay. The second tier that I offer is a full flame mapping and oversoul activation. And this is identifying the primary and secondary lineages because you can have up to 3 primary lineages. It's rare that you will have 5, but there are some people who have 5. And then you have 3 to 12 plus secondary ones. And the secondary ones are not flames that you carry. They're basically energies that you're going to move throughout your life based on who you come in contact with and those type of things, right? So I go through both of those and decode what your primary and secondary lineages are. Oversoul frequency patterning, meaning like I look at what your oversoul type is and the tones that you may hold. And then I also do a soul contract review. So if there's any contracts that you have made in a previous lifetime, I actually see if there's any that I could feel that need to be dealt with in this moment. Give activation, shadow patterning, ritual suggestions, and healing integration. And then also there's an optional tarot deck pull for that as well. And the last package, which is the package that's 3 sessions, basically you get me for a month. Because we plan these sessions out 3 months, right? I'm at 3 weeks. So you get me for an entire month. We start a chat together. We'll be talking to each other. But I do a full flame mapping for you. I do a full oversoul mapping as well. Coaching in real time to help you through your flame embodiment. I look back at your past life, your sacred vows, or if there's like a signature retrieval that needs to happen, I do that. I teach you how to rewrite your sacred vows so you get rituals that are aligned with whatever it is that you need during that time as we navigate this. And you also get recordings and mirror practices as well. And so today what I wanted to do was just to do one of those live, which is the flame reading. Hey y'all. Hey Deja. Hey Miss Sanders. But I also went back and the human design readings are not available anymore. The only readings that's on there are the oversoul design reading, and that is going to be similar to human design, but it's not human design. It is looking at how your oversoul descended into this reality. So it's looking at human design from the lens of the soul, instead of looking at it from the lens of the mind. So it's going to be a little bit different. And I broke it up into different, like multiple sessions so that it's not taxing on me the way that it has been. So there is a session where you can dig deeper into your gifts and the activations and the flame lineages and stuff like that through human design as well. So that human design is available. I also have mirror flame readings, which are basically like general life readings, but I'm talking to your oversoul, your ancestors, your spirit guides, that type of things. I have something called the sacred parent codes, which is going to be kind of similar to human design, mommy and me that I was offering, but this is a little bit different because it has 2 tiers. The first tier is like kind of like a mommy and me, but the second tier is me going deeper into your child's masculine, feminine energy, their gifts, things like that, and giving you advice based on that. And I think I have not done that in the past, going deeper into the child's actual, like the body of their information. So I'll be doing that. I also have an oversoul embodiment strategy, which is similar to the energetic profile, but it's a little bit different. So if you've already gotten a mommy and me reading, you can just get the second tier, which is me going into all of their energy as a child, the gifts they're going to have, the things that they're going to have to experience, that type of thing. And then I also have the Mirror Flame live sessions, the Living Portal. This is if you are comfortable getting your reading done on live, you can get it at a cheaper rate. Okay. I think that it is a discount. It's a discount. And the reason being is sometimes people need to witness your flame being activated. Sometimes people need to just witness people getting things done in order for them to, feel comfortable getting them done themselves, So I have the flame readings, which is the codex readings. They're usually 88, but on this, if you do want to do them live, they're 44. General flame mirror readings, which is the general life readings, connecting with your ancestors, things like that. If you want to do it on live, that's available. And then also these readings that I'm about to do, one for the mirror flame initiation readings as well. those will all be done on live. And if you're willing to do them on live, you can get them for a cheaper rate, you know, because I'm trying to help the people out. All right, so we are about to do a flame mapping. Yay, 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 yay. So I want to call somebody up to do a reading, and it does take about 45 minutes to an hour. So, you know, you got to have a little bit of time. And I just kind of need to figure out what I need to ask y'all to see who it is that gets access to this reading. So get your fingers ready. Get your fingers. All right. Damn, what do I want to ask? Hey, Lisa. Hey, Anissa. Hey, y'all. So I'm about to do a live mirror flame reading. And I'm going to invite somebody up so that I can do that reading. And yeah, now I got to figure out like how I'm going to select the person who I need to select in order to do that reading. So give me 1 second. Let me think. Because I have to make it fair. Oh, I don't know if people are going to remember this. I don't know if I got people who've been following my series in the chat or people who don't. Okay, hold on. If somebody is a life path 6, if I have a life path 6 in the chat, is anybody a life path 6? If not, I'll choose it in a different way. Does anybody know what their life path number is? Do I have a life path 6 in the chat? I know mine. Okay. Life path 8. Boo. I'm just kidding. Nope, no life path 6. Okay. Let me see if I can pick something else. Not really, don't know. Anybody born on a full moon? Anybody born on a full moon in the chat? I kind of want this to be random. If not, I'm just going to write y'all names on a piece of paper and I'm going to shake that shit up and I'm just going to choose. Anybody born on a full moon? Must be a full moon. I don't know that either. Okay, listen. Who wants a reading? Give me, drop who wants a reading in the chat. And I'm just going to do a pool. I'm going to do a little shaky. All right, so we got memory. Who else? Lisa. Wayne and Crescent. So we got Lisa. We got Anissa. Oh, no, this is free, love. This is free. I had a third moon. Okay. Hold on. We got Anissa. Me, Siobhan. We got Siobhan. Y'all got to be willing to turn your camera on too now. Siobhan. Olga. That's not your name, girl. Osuga. We'll write you down. Now, I know that these people about to get in your business now. Just want you to know that. I want to hear it. You got to be ready. Okay. Willing and ready if chosen, period. We got Suga. Oh, I got it right. Oh, it is Olga. Or is it Osuga? Which one was right? Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 people. Anybody else before I close it? Anybody else want to get a reading done? Osuga. Okay, gotcha. Period, poo. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pick from these 5. Okay, let's shaky, 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 shaky. I'm so excited for this, y'all. I've really been working on this for such a long time. Trying to get things set up so that I can move more in alignment with my oversoul, you know, and the things that I want. Okay. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay. We're going to go with this one. Lisa. Lisa, you're the winner, love. You're still in the chat. Lisa. Come on, girl. I kind of feel like this is unfair because I know you, but it's okay. Go ahead and I'm going to invite you in. Guest. Let me find you. There you are. I just sent you an invite, my love. Oh, my name is Lisa, but I just opened that. Oh, okay. Yes. All righty, Lisa. Woo, woo, woo. Hey, girl. Can you hear me, Lisa? Hey, girl. I'm here. Period. Hold on. Let me change this so we can be side by side real quick. Let me change the setup real quick on y'all. Okay. There we go. Okay. Lisa, you all nice and comfy, girl.
Well, it's like almost 10:30.
Oh, is
it? I said, I feel like I'm gonna win, and I was already in the bed laying down.
And that's our manifestation. Period. Okay, so Lisa,
yes.
First I need to set our space real quick. So give me 1 second so I can say my reverence real quick, okay? And then we can jump in. Let me calm myself down. I just had a session with a client. I just want to clear this space. All right. Okay, girl. Let me light the incense and we can get it cracking. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. All right. So I call forth the purest frequency of remembrance for Lisa to reveal the truth of her sacred flame origin, your distortions, your gifts, and what you are ready to reclaim now. May only that which is so authentic be revealed. I serve as a mirror and a witness. Let the lineage speak. Okay. Let's get some of my energy up in here. All right, Lisa. So the first thing I need to do is an intake. It's a foundational intake. Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, but as I'm asking you the questions, I'm going to be writing down. Hey, Spiritual Key. I'm going to be writing down what I need to write down, okay? So the first question is, what patterns keep repeating in your life?
Oh, the first one that I think about is the guys that I've chosen. Oh, wait, hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one I was thinking about is the last 3 guys that I had dealt with, well, not the
Uh-huh.
last three, but it was like three of them.
Yeah.
They were all Leos.
They were all what?
Leos.
Leos. Okay. What was happening in those relationships? Like, what was the main theme now in hindsight that you were doing?
That I was doing, I don't think I wasn't learning my lesson.
And what's the
I
lesson?
believe I really wasn't. My lesson was to trust my instincts.
Okay, trust your instincts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were getting signs and you just weren't following those signs.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Some signs was just like
So
out
ignoring
there,
your.
and I was just ignoring them, even after I asked for them.
And you staying, was that an issue of self-worth?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Girl, I already got some ideas. Girl, I already got some ideas. All right. The second question is, what would you say are your natural gifts, even the ones that you tend to downplay?
If I ask for something, I'll get the message. It'll be shown to me in some way. It could be very random, but I ask for, like, if I ask to be shown something, I'll
Say it again.
asking for it. It's going to show itself.
Okay. And does that come through
If I
dreams?
ask for something, and
Sorry, go ahead.
I know, I'm just saying it. Like, say, for example, with one of the guys that I was dealing with, my big thing is honesty. So, and what I ask is to show me something to let me know whether or not this relationship should continue.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things that I found out is that he wasn't being honest.
So you ask for something to
And
be
that-
revealed and it comes. Does that come through dreams? Or what does it come through?
No. It just will come through like examples. Like, it'll show me that he's not being honest. Like, they'll do something and I find out. So it's just like blatant.
Got you. Okay. What are your other gifts? Do you have any other gifts like leadership or healing? Or I know you got sight. That's what we talking about. That's called sight. Do you have anything else?
I do dowsing. I also am a Reiki master teacher, although I haven't been practicing on anyone. I just usually practice on myself. And I have done mediumship, but I haven't done any practicing with that.
Okay.
In a minute. And I think that is about it.
So let's dig a little bit deeper here, okay? Oh, let me plug my phone up real quick before we have a damn catastrophe. So when I say what are your gifts, the things that people say about you, okay? So when I say what are your gifts, I mean like the things that people say about you. So for example, I like one of the gifts that I have is that people feel really safe around me. Another gift that I have is that sometimes people just start crying around me. Like they'll open up, spill their guts where they haven't been able to do that around other people, and they'll just start crying. And I didn't really understand. Now I understand what that comes from, but I didn't understand why I felt like people would just randomly be like, I don't know why I'm crying. And I'm just like, I don't know why you crying either, sister. Are you okay? You know, like, do you have those type of moments?
Yeah, so I have it where people will just like tell me their business.
Okay.
So they'll just start talking to me. People would say that, oh, well, I just love your energy.
Okay.
I think that's the only two I could think of like that.
Okay, good. That's good. Thank you, my love. I appreciate that. All right. Okay. How do other people say they feel around you? We just talked about that a little bit. Love your energy. Do people ever say stuff like, I feel like I'm madder when I'm around you? I feel like you recalibrate my energy. I feel like um I didn't know exactly what I wanted to say, but I wanted to say it around you. Like, do people say anything like that?
Um,
You make me want to be a better person. Like things like
they
that.
do, yeah. That I do get that. That they feel like I inspire them.
Okay. Okay, my love. Alrighty. What do you long to do, but still fear?
Um, using mediumship gifts.
Using your gifts. Okay. That actually feels past life. Um, I feel like there was some type of punishment or something for your gifts. I heard witch or something like that. Like somebody said witch. But I think there was some type of punishment for you using your gifts in the past life. Anything else that you fear? And what I say by that is, like, for example, like sometimes I feel like I have a fear of being too much for people, because I know, like, if I get to talking, we about to talk about some shit, and it is probably ain't no stuff that other people talk about, or fear of inadequacy, or a fear of, like, do you have anything like that? Not being understood, like a fear of anything like that?
Um, so I go through a period of like imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. Okay. Yep, that is. Yep. Okay. You are barking up two lineages right now, and I'm trying to narrow it down to which one of these lineages it is. Um, okay. And then the next question, or last question, is what happens when you're in your shadow? The parts of yourself that you don't want to be in, the parts of yourself that you don't want other people to see, or the things that you do that you realize you probably shouldn't be doing it. Meaning like over giving, or being a people pleaser, or um, feeling like you got to do more to be accepted, or like things like that.
Oh, I feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I feel shame that comes with it, because I know I'm not doing it for me. I'm just doing it, for them, because
To appease people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so people pleasing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I would just feel bad because I know in my head I'm thinking that I really don't want to. I don't want to do this, but
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it anyway. So I'm just putting myself, and that's with me putting myself last. And
Yeah, prioritizing other people's needs in front of your own.
mm-hmm.
Okay, let me get some confirmation real quick, because I think I know what you're dealing with, my sister girl. I know this flame all too well. It was my whole personality. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They just gonna flip the whole deck out on you, girl. Okay, that's good enough. It's all water's energy too. It's all water's energy. Yeah. The healer and the filler. I know that's right. Ain't nothing wrong with loving people, but it's only loving people to your detriment that becomes the issue. Okay. So let me go back real quick. So I'm going to give you 2 sentences and I want you to tell me which one you resonate with more. I overgive to be loved. If I reflect too clearly, I will be rejected.
I reflect too clearly, I will be rejected.
Okay, got you. I think you actually have 2 rose lineages battling each other. Um, and what's crazy is I keep wanting to say this lineage, but I keep hearing the other one, and I wrote them both down. Okay, so let's do another. Have you ever been? Are you the type of person who believes that your softness is a weakness? Are you the type of person who gives without receiving?
I'm a yes to both of those.
Yeah. Okay. Those go with the same lineage, so that makes sense. Okay. What about, have you ever been the type of person who avoids your own emotional needs by focusing only on other people's healing?
Yes.
You are both of these lineages. That's what I thought. We got double rose. And I think when I met you, I said you had some deep connections to the rose lineage.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. That's what that is. Um, okay. And I think that violet energy. So here's the difference between, like, rose energy is the energy that loves unconditionally. Like, it's compassionate, it's loving, it's all of those things. But when you put rose and violet together, violet is an energy that doubts its own insight until it's reflected externally. It needs external validation of whatever it is that it's feeling, right? So I honestly would like to say that you're more rose violet as your primary. However, that rose gold undertone is heavy. Like, meaning, like, these are probably, you probably have 2 like 2 primary flame lineages. And that's kind of crazy. All right. So give me one more second. And then I'm gonna get into what I pulled card wise. All right. So, do people feel seen, cherished, or emotionally disarmed around you? Meaning, like, if they were the type of person who's aggressive, when they talking to you, they not as aggressive as they normally would be. Or would you say that grief rises within them and then it releases? So that crying when you're around, or their inner child comes alive.
I'm gonna say the inner child.
Yeah. Yeah. So you more rose violet than you are rose gold. I think that's your primary, is the rose violet. Because you keep agreeing with the rose violet first. The rose gold is still very much there because I feel it. I keep hearing it in the back of my head. So it's absolutely there. But the rose violet is the runner, the front runner. Okay. A fear of being too much or taking up too much space, or fear of abandonment if you speak or if you shine.
Fear of abandonment.
Yep, that's rose violet. All day, all day, all day. The last one. Did you fall into the good girl trope? Did you suppress your rage or over please? Or do you get lost in other people's emotions, trauma bond, and like your trauma bonds, you've mistaken them for love?
I'm gonna say the good girl.
The good girl. Yeah, that's our rose gold girl. Okay, good. All righty, my love. So we've identified your main 2. We're just going to confirm these. Okay. So now we're going to confirm them. All right. So I went ahead and pulled some cards for our confirmation, which is amazing. Sorry, I break out into song. You're just gonna have to ignore me. You're just gonna have to ignore me a little bit, girl. All right, so the first thing that we get is the 3 of flame. Okay, this is the three of flame. Hold on, YouTube. I want to make sure y'all can see too. Oop. Nope, this is the three of flame. Okay, that's the first thing that we get. Now, this is about creative motion. The three of flame is a sign that your flame has found its rhythm. What was once internal, the spark, the mirror, is now being felt and seen in the outer world. You are in motion and the flame path is opening before you. There is alignment, forward movement, and growing sense of purpose. This card often rises when your inner work begins to crystallize into form. The flame pathway asks you to trust your unfolding without rushing. This is not the time to grasp or control outcomes. It's a time to walk in resonance with your flame and let it illuminate. Let your flame lead. You do not need validation. That is rose violet energy. Okay. That is rose violet energy. You do not need external confirmation or validation. Okay. Next, we have the Queen of Waters. I don't even need to look her up, but I'm telling you right now, it's absolutely what you're meant to embody in this reality. Okay. So we got the water mirror. Okay. It's very emotional energy, it's very healing energy as well. This is emotional depth. So the Queen of Water is the embodiment of emotional wisdom, one who has walked through every wave, felt it all, and still chooses to remain open. She reflects without absorption. She loves without losing herself. Okay. That's rose gold energy. Okay. When this card appears, you're being called to emotional sovereignty. You're not being asked to shut down. You're being asked to hold your water with grace. Stay present with your emotions. Your compassion is powerful, but only when it includes you. That's rose gold energy. Okay. Then we have the Seven of Stone. This is all just confirmation. Okay. This is all just confirmation. All right. The Seven of Stone. The lesson here is just because you can't see it yet doesn't mean it's not growing. Okay. So this is a lesson in trusting yourself. Um, The seven of stone arise when the soil has been tilled. The seeded plants, now sacred, are waiting. This is the moment between effort and reward, where your soul work is growing beneath the surface. It cannot yet be seen, but it's not stagnant. The card reminds you that not all growth is visible. Some of the most powerful transformations happen in the dark. So this actually feels like a secondary energy. Just because you can't see it yet doesn't mean it's not growing. That's what that card is saying. We have the Nine of Water. Now the Nine of Waters flew out, like literally flew towards my face. Okay. There we go. I probably need to pull this side up. Hold on. That's breath, water, Nine of Waters. This is when the heart is full, you stop chasing what was never yours. Receiving the moment, you've earned it. So being able to receive back what you're giving out. Okay. And then we have the Five of Water, which is grief. Okay. Five of Water. It's about sacred sorrow and emotional release. You're not weak. You're being made more human. It's a rite of passage. When this card appears, you're being asked to honor what has been lost without rushing to fix or transcend it. Water must move to remain clear, and grief is the current that carries your heart back to wholeness. You are not broken. You're being baptized. Okay. A lot of water energy. So rose gold, rose violet energy. Okay. Good, 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 good. All right. So let me go back to my thing real quick. All right. Now let me do a scan real quick. All right. I heard there was a recent overlay of sapphire. So let's talk about that real quick. Sapphire energy is inner truth, inner law, celestial harmony. So the loop is controlled through righteousness. I'm right. You need to do it my way. Hyperlogical detachment. I must hold it all together. I must be right or I'll be erased. The healing key is to surrender to inner harmony, harmonizing inner truth with universal law. That's actually what you're navigating right now. The need to be right or my way, my way, my way. And I'm hearing that's an overlay. Okay.
Okay. So when it says it's an overlay, what does that mean?
So overlay just means that this is an energy that's coming up for you right now, or it's an energy that was imprinted into your auric field, and it only is activated through certain people. That actually feels like your son. That's your son for sure, but it's activated by certain people, and you're meant to learn how to transmute that energy. So it's like almost like y'all have a soul contract together, and you are meant to alchemize whatever that is. And he is there to teach you that. You are there to teach him other things, but he is there to teach you how to alchemize this energy, which is the sapphire flame. This is more about surrendering to inner harmony, meaning you only can control yourself. You can't control other people. So making sure you align with your truth and you live in your truth. You set the appropriate boundaries. You stick to the appropriate boundaries, but you set the appropriate boundaries, right? But realizing you can't really control anybody else's journey. Okay. But this is the energy of authority and justice and, that type of energy. Okay. So that's an overlay. Let me finish my scan. That's the overlay that I feel. Yep. Oh no, both of these are primary rose gold. So what's the secondary? Emerald. Your secondary flame is emerald. Oh, the stone. That's the stone. That's the stone we just pulled. Yes, that's the stone. Okay. So the emerald flame is body workers, herbalists, land-based guides. Okay. So emerald flame is sometimes they loop betrayal or they're misaligned with their true purpose. I can't trust my path or earth. The healing part is that they're heart grounded in trust and they have a mission through earth. So it's ancestor energy as well, is this emerald energy. Natural gifts are going to be recalibrating others into alignment with earth and body. Sometimes they overgive their healing presence instead of anchoring it into their own rhythm. We'll also do sapphire too, since we here. Okay, so since I've identified, let me just write out what the gifts are just so that we know them. I need like a secondary something up here to help me write stuff down. Okay. All right, so this is what I'm getting, Lisa. So Lisa, your primary is rose gold, rose violet, but I honestly want to say rose violet first, then rose gold. Okay, secondary is emerald, the emerald flame. Overlay that you are moving through right now is sapphire. Okay. Might as well write this up because I'm going to just send you a PDF after this. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to just have to do it this way. And then the emerald flame. We got, no, rose gold. Okay. Emerald is your secondary. And then sapphire is the overlay. And then we're going to go over this together. I just got to get this all on the same. Okay. Sapphire. So that I can feed the information back to you. Okay. And give you some confirmation. All right. And then I'll answer some of those. Okay, we already did that. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, good. All right. So this is what we have. So the main flame is going to be rose violet, the rose violet flame. This is the wound healer. Okay. The natural gift here is transmuting ancestral pain through love and tenderness. So a lot of what you hold probably does not belong to you. How you end up downplaying yourself is avoiding your own emotional needs by focusing only on other people's healing. Okay. That's the rose violet. The rose gold is about sacred worth and embodied grace. Okay. The natural gift is holding unconditional love and nurturing others into their sovereignty, meaning like standing up for themselves, standing in their own purpose, standing in their own truth. How you downplay yourself is believing that your softness is weakness, given without receiving. Okay, feeling like you need to give, be everything to everybody, but get nothing in return. Okay, the emerald flame is the restoration and inner harmony. The natural gift is recalibrating others into alignment with earth in their own body, meaning not living from their mind, living from their body. So emerald energy is kind of slow because it's rooted in the earth. It moves at its own rhythm, it moves at its own pace. It's not fast moving like everybody else. This energy is actually slow. Okay. That's confirmation from a conversation we had the other day, is it not? Yeah, that's confirmation. So how it downplays itself is it overgives their healing presence instead of anchoring it into their own rhythm, meaning you try to move at other people's pace. You need to move at your own pace. Okay, that's your secondary flame. And your overlay that you're moving through right now is the sapphire. And the natural gift is holding the blueprint of star and soul. Okay. And how you downplay yourself is suppressing your calling out of fear of destabilizing other people. Suppressing your calling out of fear of destabilizing other people. Okay, so that's a little bit of that. Afraid to use your gifts, afraid to step into your calling. Okay, you got to get this sapphire energy off of you first. You got to move through the sapphire energy because it's just an overlay, which means that until you transmute that energy, you're not going to be able to step into your purpose. Okay, so okay. Now, after hearing that, how do you feel about those?
It makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. Period.
I'm like, all of it. I'm like, I'm just, I'm thinking you talking. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the shadow expressions of these energies real quick, just so I can make sure. So the shadow side of rose violet is overgiven to be loved. The shadow side of rose gold is if I reflect too clearly, I will be rejected. The shadow side of emerald is I can't trust my path. The shadow side of sapphire is I must hold it all together. I have to be right or I'll be erased. I need to be valuable or I'll be erased. Okay. Those resonate.
Yes, all of them. All of them.
Period. All right. We love that. I mean, we're gonna work through that, but we recognize that. Okay. So again, you carry this rose violet, which is about and I'm going to give you a deeper understanding of those. Now, I usually do this in the secondary lineage reading, but since we're doing this free, we're just, two girls hanging out on live. I'll give you the deeper meaning for this. Okay. So give me 1 second, girl. Okay. All right. And I'm not going to give you the cheat sheet version. I'm going to give you the full version. Okay. So we'll start with the rose violet since that's the one I feel that's more immediate. Okay. So this is the flame of soul remembrance. The primary frequency is memory restoration and oversoul awakening. And that's probably why you have visions and dreams and things like that. You pull from people's memory grids. Okay. The essence is the rose violet flame carries the resonance of remembrance, specifically linked to soul fragments, lost memory, and divine promise. It walks the path of reunion through revelation, healing the fracture of forgetting and anchoring the truth of who we were before distortion. Okay. The flame expression is when this energy is fully embodied, you act as a sacred mirror for oversoul remembrance for other people. Okay. They start to remember in your presence. They help others recall their soul mission, sacred vows, and forgotten gifts, often quiet, radiant, or dreamlike in your energy. You tend the in-between spaces, okay, and often serve as a soul doula, a midwife of return and remembrance guide, okay? What you activate in other people is sudden past life flashes or soul memory, emotional breakdowns followed by some sort of clarity, a longing to reconnect with their true purpose, and a deep sense of deja vu or familiarity, which can make sense why people say, oh my gosh, I love your energy. I like being around you, that type of thing. Common phrases that you will either say when you're in alignment is that I was never lost. I was only sleeping. There's something deeper. I remember in you. These are things when you're in alignment. Let's bring back what you left behind. You already know. I'm just here remembering it back. I'm just here mirroring it back to you. That's something I say all the time. I'm not telling you anything new. I'm only reflecting back to you what you already know. Okay. Same thing for you. That is the energy that I'm speaking out of when I say that. Okay. That's rose violet energy. Okay. So the shadow side of this energy is that the looping patterns is avoiding the present by clinging to spiritual memory. Meaning, like sometimes people will get lost in spirituality, or they'll use spirituality as like a means of escape. So that is one thing that may be looping, being stuck between worlds or dissociated, confusing fantasy with intuitive knowing, meaning like thinking everything has a meaning, that every part of your imagination, there's some type of meaning to it. Repeated cycles of betrayal, abandonment, or being forgotten. Okay. The shadow story is no one remembers me. If I reveal what I know, I'll be rejected. I must keep my knowing hidden. If I forget, I will fail. Okay. The expressions are feeling unseen, ghost like, or unrecognized, a fear of being too much or not enough, guilt around remembering more than other people, being haunted by visions or memories without grounding. Okay. When you're stuck, you might say things like, I can't tell if this is real or not. Why do I feel like I don't exist here? No one understands what I carry. I keep having dreams I can't explain, that type of thing. The gifts that come along with this rose violet are going to be anchoring unconditional love and sacred union codes, transmuting abandonment, separation, and inner orphaning, meaning like abandoning yourself, you abandoning, not being able to mother yourself, walking the priestess or priest pathway of sacred tending. That first card was the flame pathway, right? Channeling oversoul love and belonging frequencies, creating temples, sanctuaries, or sacred spaces where people can feel seen or unseen, mending the soul thread of those who feel forgotten. Okay. The healing key, or the key to healing when you have this energy, is that you must remember that remembrance is a sacred return, not a tool for validation. Okay. Your remembering becomes powerful when it's embodied. You just have to know that you got to trust yourself. You got to trust what you're feeling. Okay. Not when it's used to escape. You got to make sure that you still face the things. And some things that I'll hear people say when I feel like they're escaping is, well, I'm just protecting my peace. I'm just protecting my peace. Sometimes we use protecting our peace as spiritual bypassing, so that we don't have to hold the things. You still got to face things, you still got to hold the things. You got to do the hard things. Okay. The key is gentle integration, honoring the fragments without identifying with them. Okay. Rooting into the now brings clarity to what is actually true. I mean, you might need to sit in stillness. Maybe you don't figure it out in that moment that quickly. Okay. So the flames that you do best with are going to be the Sarai flame, the silver blue flame, which is the flame of stillness, deep indigo flame, which is shadow memory and strength, and the mystery people who dream about the ocean and stuff like that, like those people. The opalescent white flame, which is an interdimensional reconnection energy, and then the mirror flame, people who reflect things back. Okay, so that's one. The rose gold is heart alchemy and divine reunion. Okay. The rose gold flame holds the frequency of sacred love, inner union, and the remembrance of the divine mirror, which means you have both masculine and feminine energy, which I think
that was yesterday.
So you have both of these energies. So that's confirmation. It harmonizes polarity and reveals the true self through deep intimacy with the soul. Okay. So when embodied, rose gold flame bearers exude a warm magnetic presence that reflects love back to other people. Okay. I like being around you. I like your energy. They soften hard truths with grace and often facilitate reconciliation between people within their families or internally. They hold space for transformation with force and can mirror others' highest potential through compassion, which means you can see the potential that people have. And you want to mirror that back to them. That was yesterday's session was that. You want to mirror that back to them because you see it. But just because you see it don't mean you got to speak it until they're ready to see it now. Okay. So when what's activated in other people when they're around you is inner softness, is a desire to come home to their self, right? It's okay for me to be myself, right? The courage to open their heart again, deep emotional healing and release. Okay. It's safe to love again. I see the beauty beneath the pain. Love is not something I earn. It is what I am. I feel like I've come home. Those are the phrases in alignment. Okay. The shadow side is overgiving or emotional codependency, confusing being needed with being loved, Ooh, that might be tea right there. You know, I think we all been there. Okay. Attracting emotionally unavailable partners as mirrors of unhealed wounds, seeking external love to validate your inner worth. The shadow story is I must sacrifice myself to keep the love. If I am soft, I'll be taken advantage of. If I show my love, I'll leave. That's the hardening. If I'm soft, I'll be taken advantage of. I harden my heart, right? Yeah. If I show my love, they'll leave. I don't know who I am outside of love. Okay. The shadow expressions are deep woundings around abandonment or rejection, rescuing others to avoid self intimacy, taking care of yourself, suppressed rage under layers of niceness. Okay. Yeah. Unclear boundaries masked as compassion. You know, not setting those boundaries when people do you wrong. Okay. So when you're stuck, you'll say, why do I always give more than I receive? I just want to feel love, but it's never enough. They left me after I gave them everything. Okay. Gifts are going to be deep emotional alchemy and heart transmutation, healing through presence, not fixing, meaning you just sit present with people. You don't got to jump in and fix their problems, right? Holding space for rebirth, endings, and soul return, restoring innocence and trust and love, creating safe containers for grief and joy to coexist together. Meaning you don't have to be too happy. You don't got to be too sad. You could be where you at. You know, right. Soul midwifery and emotional truth telling, inviting people into the now moment through warmth, which means stillness. Your stillness is so important to what you came here to do. You know, so the key to healing here is that you must reclaim sacred union with yourself before offering it to other people. Before you enter into another relationship, you got to make sure that your thoughts and your emotions are aligning. You got to make sure that you're taking the appropriate action based off of that. You got to make sure that you tend to your inner self first. Okay. Support and nurture and care for other people is built on the foundation of self-love. Okay. So the softening they give others, you give others, must first be turned inwards. You must give that same softness and that same love to yourself. Okay. This lineage realigns through boundaries, inner emotional tending, and letting love become an offering, not a transaction. Okay. Now, this flame lineage does good with the emerald flame. Okay. The crystalline flame, the sapphire flame, which is what you have those two of these flame, ruby flame and the opal flame. Okay. So let's talk about the emerald. This is the flame of living truth. The primary frequency is heart wisdom, inner clarity, and soul integrity. Okay. The emerald flame carries the original imprint of divine honesty, truth telling through the heart, and sovereign resonance. Those who walk this path are here to illuminate truth without force. Okay. To align the seen and unseen through compassion, through courage and discernment. Those two first energies work beautifully with this energy. Okay. The compassion, the rose gold works beautifully with this energy. So that's going to help you to bring this energy into alignment. Okay. They're natural truth tellers, harmonizers, and heart-based leaders, meaning you live a life of service. How can I be of service to you? And that then you give them that, right? That's heart-led leadership. You consider the people around you. So the expression is when in alignment, emerald flame bearers radiate clear, grounded presence. They guide others back to their own truth, often through gentle questioning, deep listening, and quiet witnessing. Being able to just witness without absorb, being able to just witness without jumping in. Your presence naturally disarms lies and illusion, not by attacking, but by making the truth feel safe. They tend the field of resonance, helping others recalibrate to what feels true in the body and the soul, meaning slow down. You got to slow down so that you can feel into it. You activate in others a need to confess or speak honestly, emotional clarity or heart opening experiences, sudden awareness of distortion and falsehood, a calm, grounded feeling of inner knowing. Phrases when you're in alignment, I feel into what's true for you. For me, the body knows, the heart knows. You don't need to explain, I feel you, right? Okay. Yeah. The truth isn't about always comfortable, but it sets you free. Okay. The looping patterns will be silencing your truth to keep the peace, meaning keeping somebody else's peace instead of keeping your own peace. Becoming over responsible for other people's clarity, if you feel like they misunderstand you, you just prove it in another way. You say it in another way. You do it in another way. You try to make sure that they can see it your way. Okay. Confusing niceness with integrity. Niceness and kindness are different. Niceness is you prioritizing somebody else's needs over your own. Kindness is politely saying no. being nice and you declining because that's not your truth to hold. You know, seeking external approval before speaking. The shadow story here is that my truth will hurt others. If I say what I know, I'll lose connection. Okay, it's safer to stay quiet. My role is to keep everybody else in balance. Okay, this is the energy that sometimes like to play the background or plays the background, fades into the background a little bit because they want to keep the peace, they want to keep the balance. Okay, the shadow expressions are people pleasing and codependency, suppressed emotion that turns into physical illness, self doubt, throat blockages, anxiety around confrontation, becoming emotionally numb or overly analytical. Okay, when you're stuck, I don't know what I feel anymore. I want to speak, but the words won't come out. I always have to be the one who understands. If I share how I really feel, I'll ruin everything. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty familiar. I was actually I was like, okay, Emerald, ancestor, I get it. Now I get it.
Get it.
Now I get it. Right. So gifts are going to be truth seeing in alignment with soul integrity, meaning that you got to speak your truth regardless. And when you do, that activates and transforms other people. Because remember, you're a generator, which means that your responses cause transformation in yourself and in other people. Okay. So you got to give it to them straight, even when it's uncomfortable. Okay. But you got to wait for the mask. They got to come to you.
Yeah.
But when they do, you give it to them straight. Okay. Earth grid connection and ley line restoration. When you walk land, when you travel, you activate the land. Herbal, plant, and body based intuitive healing. Don't you make magnesium sprays? Yeah.
Butters. Yeah.
Body butters and stuff like that. That's that earth. That's that emerald flame coming through. Okay. Energy clearing and distortion decoding, embodied sovereignty and heart mind coherence, which is the heart and the mind is the masculine and the feminine. The two, the mind, the body. Yes. Okay. Shining truth into deception with grace, doing things with compassion. You got to ground back into that compassion. Okay. Serving as a voice of clarity in group or collective confusion. Okay. So the emerald flame bearers must learn that truth is a living frequency, not just a spoken word. Your power lies in how you hold truth, okay? Not in how forcefully you deliver it, okay? The healing comes from aligning your heart, your voice, and your body, allowing truth to be embodied rather than performed. Sacred boundaries and heart-aligned expression are your tools of freedom, okay? So the flames that you are going to align the most with under this energy are gold, ruby, amethyst, obsidian, and crystal flame. And gold is more of a masculine energy. It's more of like a truth-telling energy. Hold on, sorry, they got me doing puzzles. Ruby is sacred love and devotion. Ruby is love at its purest form, if you ask me. Okay. Amethysts are going to purify people, purify distortion through communication. They say something that's like the room stops. Okay. Like they cut through distortion. Obsidians are people who reveal hidden truths. So the people who like the nuances, the in-between situations. Okay. And then the crystalline flame, which is clear light from inner truth. They know who they are. You need people like that around you when you in that energy. Okay. And the sapphire flame, I'm going to go into this one a little bit, but this is what you're supposed to be transmuting right now. So I want to at least give you the due diligence to talk about that. So give me 1 second. All right. The primary frequency is celestial alignment and inner law. This is going to be on YouTube, so I suggest you watch this back because this is a lot of information. Yes, this is a lot of information. So this will be on YouTube. I want you to watch this back. So the core essence here is the bringer of clarity, divine order, and crystalline resonance. Sapphire flame bearers carry the code of stellar justice. Yes, it'll be on YouTube. As soon as I log off, the live is already on YouTube because I have YouTube running in the background. Okay, you just won't see her face on YouTube, which I like it that way so that I can protect your privacy. But what was I saying? Honestly, though, I feel like I need to have them hear your conversation, though, for confirmation. So I don't know. We will see. So, the bringer of clarity, divine order, and crystalline resonance, sapphire flame bearers carry the codes of stellar justice, soul contracts in harmonic alignment with source law across realms. In alignment, they live in deep attunement with divine law and celestial cycles, can see energetic imbalance quickly and bring resolution with precision, feel most alive when guiding others back into harmony with their soul agreement, often becomes the stabilizing force in chaos, holding timelines and space together, speaks with directness and authority while remaining deeply compassionate. Okay, the shadow side becoming overly rigid or judgmental, stuck in perfectionism or black and white thinking, right and wrong, yes or no, my way or highway. You know, black and white thinking, no nuance, no spectrum. Okay, may try to enforce truth externally rather than helping others find their own truth, holds themselves to impossible standards and collapse under perceived failure, becomes disillusioned when others cannot see what they see. Okay, trying to get other people to see it your way. Um, the soul gifts are access to the stellar libraries and soul contract templates. But again, this is actually something that you are meant to transmute. So let's almost. I love your eyes and makeup. Oh, hold on. I am like, sorry, my eye is like leaking right now. What's going on? Okay. So the soul gifts of this really don't matter because this is something you're transmuting. So what you need to heal, letting go of the need to fix. Your presence alone brings alignment. Invite curiosity before judgment. Clarity does not require force. Oh, Jesus. Meaning get more curious, like ask more questions. I think a lot of times what we'll do is we'll see something that doesn't align with us or something that we don't agree with, or maybe somebody is doing something in a way that we wouldn't do it. And we just reject it instead of getting curious and asking questions and seeking to understand the person. Right. And so it's really important to be more curious than you are judgy. I literally told a client the other day, that this has got me a long way in life because I feel like I understand people on a better level, because instead of judging them, I will immediately ask, like, how did we get here? How did we get here, friend? Because I literally had a guy who like ended up like paying me to like clean his house or whatever, and we was talking, and this is inappropriate, but he asked me to like work out and give him the panties. And I was like, you're a creep, but I didn't say that out loud because I feel like that's mommy issues. Where is it at? So I said, I'm not really interested in that. That's not my thing, but I'm not trying to judge you for what you got going on. Instead, let's sit down and have a drink and talk about how we got here. And we sat down and we were drinking scotch, which I ain't never had scotch a day in my damn life. But we were drinking scotch, and he was just like, nobody has ever asked me this. And I was like, I mean, I choose not to judge people. I feel like your thing is your thing, and there's something that got you to this point. Why not seek to explore what that thing is? Good night, my love. Explore what that thing is instead of judging. This is another human having a human experience. I feel like it's too many of us who push other people's, stuff off to the side because it doesn't align with, what we want for them, or, what it is that we would be doing in that situation. Because a lot of us are judging other people based off of how we would do it, So curiosity gets you a long way. I'm just saying. Trust that others are on their own journey of remembering. You are a way shower, not a punisher. Men, don't punish people for not taking your way. You can give them the guidance, you can give them the suggestions, but ultimately this is their journey. This is their life. You got to allow them and trust them enough that they know how to guide themselves. Okay. And then bring structure to your own inner truth before restructuring others. Okay. So sister girl, that's right. That's on point right there. Yeah, that's on point, my friend. Okay, so that part of me going through the soul gifts and decoding the lineages is tier 2. I just want to say this to the audience. That is tier 2. But tier 1 is identifying what the lineages are and giving you that brief overview that I gave you, the natural gifts and what it looks like when you're basically downplaying those gifts. Okay. So now that we have went through that and we have confirmed what your lineages are, let's do a little bit of reflection. Okay. So what do you remember when I speak about the rose gold flame? Like, do you have scenarios where you're just like, okay, this is absolutely that flame?
it was just so many. I'm like, between both of those flames, I see so clearly how it is. I'm like, just how I am and how I react with you know, people.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in the corporate office, how I was, it's just like.
So it was appearing in work, it's appearing in regular life, it's just everywhere.
Yeah, personal and professional. So it's just like, it's so confirming. It just confirmation, and I feel like I really got some direction.
Yes, good. I love that.
Because I'm like, okay, this has shown up way too many times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's, you know, now I got to take the next steps.
Yeah. Yeah. Period. Yeah, I love that. For me, just being your mentor, looking at some of these, like the rose violet, well, I would say rose gold, absolutely. Absolutely. I knew that coming into this. That's why I said, this might not be fair, because I know for a fact she's rose gold. Like, I know that energy is there because I see it all the time. Right. But I thought that emerald and sapphire were surprises to me until I started reading back the depth, because there's so many of these. I have like literally over 15 of these lineages written out. So ain't no way for me to remember it all up here. Okay. So that's why I wrote it all out. That's why I took the time to plan this out, so that I can write it all out. I can get everything organized. And so what was crazy is I thought that I knew what the emerald flame was, because that's actually something I'm navigating right now. Okay. I had a dream about it yesterday. That's actually something I'm navigating. But until I actually read that back to you, I was like, oh, shoot. Not they eating us both up, girl. They eating us both up. So I'm like, dang, they eating us both up. Okay. I mean, do your thing. But sapphire flame too. You know, I absolutely see that you're navigating that right now with your son.
Yeah.
You're navigating that energy right now with your son. So that it's like when I hear it, I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, write it down. But until I actually see it, I'm like, oh shit, no, yes. That makes complete sense. Okay. So good. Does any of it feel hard to believe or hard to receive?
No.
No,
not at all. Not at all. Okay. Because when you know, you know.
Period. Well, what I want to say to you is the flames that you have are not here to prove anything. Okay. They're here to be remembered by you and to be reclaimed, because these are pieces of you that you have either hidden, or pieces of you that you were not aware of, or pieces of you that you have not acknowledged, you know. And I think one of the great things about getting a reading like this is that you get to figure out what the thing is. And when you can figure out what the thing is, then you know what to do about the thing.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
and that's so I'm really excited.
Yeah, you know what to do about the thing, and you get to decode it, and we get to work through that together. You know, I'll start incorporating some of these into our own sessions now that we are aware of what they are. Okay. So you're not behind. This is the return for you. Okay. So that's really exciting place to be. That's a really exciting place to be. You know? So I wanna close us off, and I want to basically I'm going to send you rituals for each of these flames, okay, that I want you to do. Some of them are embodied practices, some of them are visualizations, okay, but I think that it will be good to help you with this. Again, this is more of like a flame 2 reading. So if you want this type of reading, guys in the audience, this is a tier 2 type of reading, okay? But I'm going to send you affirmations. I'm going to send you rituals. I'm going to send you flame visualizations, because I think that that's important in you figuring out how to get yourself back into alignment with this energy. Okay. And then just also just getting around that energy. I have a rose gold body. Okay. Meaning that I tend to fall face forward into rose gold energy, which is self-sacrificing, people pleasing, prioritizing everybody else's shit, because I'm so compassionate, so loving, and so all these things. So literally my deodorant is rose vanilla. My incense are rose. When I anoint myself in the morning, I anoint with rose hip oil, you know? So I've incorporated a lot of those things. When I take a spiritual bath, rose petals. Okay. So you want to start, you have a lot of rose energy, start incorporating that. Start incorporating sapphire. Sapphire is actually, and I wouldn't be surprised, hold on, that you have a connection to Atlantis, because the Atlantis doors are sapphire. The Atlantis precious gems are sapphire. You know, so if you came through Atlantis by proxy of Lyra, that would make sense why you're here, girl. Yeah. That would make sense why you're here. So let me see if I can get confirmation on Atlantis or Lyra. I love sapphire. Yeah. Okay. No, we got some other secondary lineages coming out. The fracture, the moment of forgetting. Compassion. Is that what they say? Compassion for the path of discernment. Repetition of unworthiness and separation wounds. You are not broken. You're remembering what was scattered. We already said that. Let's see. Oh, damn. Everything in their mama is coming out. Oh, Jesus. Girl. Like, dang, at this point, take the whole deck. Okay, the Flame of Shame came out. The Fracture came out. The Dream Code came out. Ooh. Astral Work, Night Transmissions, Past Life Bleed Throughs. Your soul is retrieving stories within your sleep. Flame Integration, blah, 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 blah. Void Womb, which is stillness. Flame of Boundaries. Yes, you do need those boundaries. I agree. Oversoul dropping. Your oversoul is actually merging right now. I got the Lunar Flame, though, which would Gate, Third Eye, Dream Mirror. Again, that's dream, womb energy, emerald energy. Carriers of Lumeria, Venus, and Water Priestess codes. Lumeria is before Atlantis. Sometimes hitting into the flame stabilizes emotional sensitivity. Lunar flame lineages came around Lumeria's time. Okay, so you might have, I think, did I tell you before that you had relationships to Lyra?
I think you did.
I can't remember. For some reason, I feel like that I've told you either Lyra or Atlantis or something like that. But Lumeria is coming out. Venus came out too, and Venus makes complete sense because of all the rose energy that you have. Actually, no, that is what I told you, Venus. And one of our
we Venus in the because I remember even someone else told me that I had
the Venus energy. Yeah, so you got Venus. You got Venus energy, okay. But sapphire was actually a sacred gemstone in Atlantis, though. A lot of their crystalline floors and a lot of their doors and stuff were made out of sapphire or Atlantean aqua. Whatever, it was a precious gemstone that was specific to there. But okay, so I'm gonna give you a prescription, which is things that you can do to get yourself into alignment. So I'm gonna make a PDF and I'm gonna send it over to you. Or I might just drop it in our chat since I already know you. Whichever way works, whatever floats the boat. Okay, but I do want to seal off this session, and so I want to give thanks for what we received. I give thanks to the Lyra Elf Vault because a lot of the soul memory that I get actually comes from that vault. Tapping into that frequency. That's what I was doing when I was doing my reverence before we started. Was making sure that I was aligned with the vault memory. And I hope that you allow this to kind of root into place. Okay, you are ready to receive this. You are ready to embody what's always been yours to reclaim. Okay. May this flame rise in integrity and sovereignty and in soul truth. I close this mirror, but the remembrance remains.
Yes, I receive all.
Period. That was good, Lisa. How does it feel to be my first victim?
And I'm proud to be.
Period.
Oh man, this is really just amazing. I'm like,
it's a lot.
Yes, because I'm like, I'm just listening to you talking, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yep, that's it. That's it too.
And I'm singing it. I'm like, yeah.
I love that though, because confirmation or validation in general is a God response. You know, a lot of us came here to bring back remembrance. You're one of those people, which means that in order for you to be here to do that, you got to clear out the trauma, you got to clear out the gunk so that you can gain access to your natural soul gifts. It's not that you're not experiencing these energies, you are. It's just some of them are just being used out of alignment, out of the shadow side. So what we got to do is get you back in alignment with yourself. And so a lot of these rituals that I'm going to send you are going to help you to integrate, you know, but also as we continue on with mentorship, I'm going to help you to navigate that as well. Okay. So we'll start to incorporate some of this into our program, but I love that for you, girlfriend. Yeah. This is so good. Like, this was juicy. I'm excited to do somebody that I don't, because I can pick that up on you, because I mean, we talk enough, but usually how I'll start this is I'll tap into somebody's energy and see what I'm picking up, you know, but I don't have to do that with you, because I'm tapping into your energy all the damn time, every week. You know, so thank you for coming up here and being brave and, you know, allowing me to read you. Thank you for allowing me to display this new service, which I'm super excited about sharing with you guys. But yeah, girl, I love you deep.
Thank you so much. I'm just so glad.
Yes, your manifestation must be on point, because every time I say I'm about to get something away free, it's like, Lisa. I ain't even mad at it though. I ain't even mad. You're gonna have to teach me your game. I'm unfamiliar. You're gonna have to teach me. Because period, I'm like, let me see who I'm about to select. Lisa. I'm like, damn. Lisa be on it, period. Your ancestors don't play about you, sister.
It's like, she need this.
She need this bad, actually. Fuck all that other stuff. We need her. Period. No, I love that for you though. So what I'll do is I'll drop you some. I'm probably just gonna drop it in your chat.
Okay.
I'll drop you some things in your chat. Oh no, because I have an integration document to help you to integrate, so I can't do it that way. So I'm gonna send you something. You're just gonna have to give me a little moment to put it together. But I really do genuinely appreciate you. Everybody else, this will be on YouTube right after, and then I'm gonna post the secondary version in its own playlist, just because I want y'all to be able to hear the reactions and to hear the audio and stuff like that. And I don't know how good it sounds on YouTube's version or how loud it sounds on YouTube's version. So yeah, so that's it. That's all I got for y'all today.
Well, this is amazing, and like I said, I just love you.
And I love you back, girl. So sisters, to the end.
That's right. That's right.
Hi, Oregon. Hey, y'all. All right, y'all. So this will be on YouTube. I love y'all deep. I'm going to head out for the day. All right. Bye, Lisa.
See y'all later.
Period. All right, y'all. Bye, YouTube. I love y'all. Thank you, Yolanda, for all the interaction, girl. I love this. You too, Spiritual Key. Y'all keep this chat alive, period. I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing night.